What's going on, people? It's True Boxing, and I know it's been a long time, but I'm back with a video. This video, as you saw the title, was just my thoughts on my thoughts on the first 24/7 episode. Now, let me first and foremost start off saying, but everybody knows that if you can't tell by my channel, I'm more of a technical fighter I like technical fighters. I like boxers. Don't get me wrong, I like brawlers every now and then. I like to see a good scrap, but I like I like, technical boxers. So that's why it may seem that I pick Floyd, but I just favor his style over most fighting. We'll get into that later. But I sat back with everybody else. One of my boys called me up. Actually, he didn't call me. He wrote on Facebook and shit. I'm checking my status, and he was like, hold on. You know, he wrote on his like I'm finna watch 24/7. I know Floyd finna be on that bitch fooling. So I'm like, oh shit. So I go back and watch the episode. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching it. It'll start off pretty good. Just like every other episode. 24/7 is basically a hype train, and it's basically meant to get you emotionally involved, to get the viewer emotionally evolved into the fight. Whether it makes it, excuse me, whether it makes you wanna believe that they're not training as hard or whatever. Prime example, the 24/7 with Pacquiao and Margarita. As some of you guys know, matter of fact, the same person. One of my friends, I got a couple of videos. He went he sparred with Manny 2 days for Margarita. He went like 18 rounds. He called me from camp, and I was asking him, like, is he was like that shit is the 24/7 is kind of bullshit. He's like, man, he in here training his ass off. He's like, if he distracted, I can't tell. But it's basically designed to make you think, oh shit, another fighter has an edge, or the fighter who you might think is supposed to win might not, because he doesn't have the edge. But that's what it does. But it showed the real side of Danny Garcia. He has a job, a daytime job, because a lot of these fighters need jobs. They don't make as much money as you think, and it's a minority that do. But I'm just going to jump straight to the issue that I had a problem with. Floyd is my man, 100 grand, one of my favorite fighters. But I thought the argument that they had was bullshit. All right, it seemed like they started arguing over who fighter was better, and Floyd kind of like took it to another level by one doubting, you know, his father's training ability, and then two, reminding him of all the fighters that left, even though he forgot to mention Chad Dawson. But that's another subject. But you know, he took it to another level that he didn't have to, and then it went from if everybody knows their parents. Your parents always look at you as a kid, even though you are an adult. They look at you like a kid, and his father took it to him, felt disrespected, and spoke to him like, you're my son. You don't talk to me like this. And Floyd looks at it like I'm an adult. Now, in my opinion, I'm not no psychologist, but I believe there's a lot of repressed anger from Floyd. Is that a psychiatrist term? I don't know, but I believe it's a lot of repressed anger. I think Floyd was very hurt by, I could just imagine Floyd at 16 was a beast. I mean, this kid has so much talent. Even, I mean, like I said, I know my boy who fights at Crunk, and I've heard people talk about Floyd because even though he lived in Grand Rapids, he used to train here in Detroit. Him and Cornelius Lockhart. Um, and that's what I heard. They were like two of the best fighters on out of Detroit. And I can just imagine a kid who's just destined for stardom. You know what I'm saying? He's just this great talent, and then you make it past the city Golden Gloves. You make it past the Silver Gloves, the Nationals. The Nationals is hard as shit. My friend he lost, I think, in like the first round of the Nationals, and then you make it to the Olympic trials, and then you make it past the Olympic trials to represent the United States. These are all hard things. I don't know if these people you guys know that, but these are hard tasks. And he makes it, and then his father goes to jail for drugs for 5 or 6 years. So you leave him without a trainer. I mean, I heard a story. Floyd didn't even have a trainer, when his dad went to jail, and his brother had to step in. And so when his brother stepped in, his brother changed a lot of things and helped him with a lot of things. So Floyd Senior, when he came out, he just assumed that, okay, well, I'm back now. I'm going to take over. And like Floyd said, we had already been in like 15 fights in. Everything's working. We're staying together. But I see some repressed issues from both of them. Floyd Jr. feels resentment from his father going to jail, and leaving him without a training when he should have been there. And Floyd Sr. Feels like Jr. is, very disrespectful and not humble enough. And in reality, you have nobody but to blame for that but yourself because of what you did. You don't for every action there's a reaction, and so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. But overall, I think Floyd took it to a whole nother level by telling his father that he ain't shit, by telling him he couldn't fight worth shit, telling him he was a cab driver, calling him a faggot, telling him to get the fuck out of my gym. Why the fuck you here? Just basically putting him on the spot and making him feel this small. I wouldn't be surprised if when Senior left, that when he left, after everything, calmed down, they got between them and shit. I wouldn't be surprised if, he went outside and cried or some shit. And that's not, just because a man cried don't mean he's a hoe, but just because his feelings hurt. Men, we tend to show our feelings totally different. A woman would have probably, if that was his mother, she probably would have just cried on the spot. But a man, we not gonna cry. We just gonna say something even crazier back, like fuck you. Like Senior was saying, like I hope you fucking with me, bitch. You gonna be 41-1. He got to think of something back, something wittier. But deep down, I know it had to hurt him for his son to say those things. And then not only that, but to say it in front of everybody. And I just think that was very wrong. I also believe Roger, that's your brother and that's your nephew. And even though Floyd, a lot of the stuff Floyd was saying was true, it does not make it right. I felt like Roger should have stepped up and said, hold up, you guys. Let's just cut this shit out. We're gonna talk about this behind closed doors. Floyd, you taking it a little bit too far. Senior, calm down. Both of y'all calm down. We can talk about this later. He just sat back and let him go at it. He could have let cooler heads prevail, but I just feel like that was wrong and how he went about it. You didn't have to embarrass them, because what's going to happen is eventually you guys are going to square this away, and now you're going to feel like an asshole when your father is in the gym and shit, and everybody looked at him like, damn, this is how it is. I just feel like that was he didn't have to take it that far. You should honor your parents no matter what, throughout all their good and bad. You know, I'm bigger than my dad. I'm stronger, and in all honesty, I think I could whoop my dad's ass. But if he got to talking to me, I would give him that respect. I would give him the respect and let him think that he won the argument. I wouldn't take him there. Me and my dad have some issues, but I wouldn't take it there. And I feel like Floyd, that was fucked up. And then on top of that, the icing on the cake is this. A lot of you don't know. I'm gonna see if I can find that clip or article, but I distinctively remember Floyd saying he approves everything that goes on 24/7. And if that is true, then it means he's even bigger asshole because he allowed this to be seen on 24/7. He picks and chooses what he wants on 24/7, just like a reality show. When they shoot a reality show and there's an executive producer and it's your reality show, you get to pick and choose what they put in the reality show. You can edit something out if you think it's too personal, you can whatever. And so by that, it makes me wonder, that was pretty foul. I'm not gonna excuse that, and I'm not gonna allow it or condone it and make it seem like it's okay. That was very disrespectful, and I just don't agree with it. But that's just my thoughts. I will be giving my I know I've been going. I got work, kid. I got life and shit. I will be giving my review. My on Floyd versus Ortiz, Bernard versus Chad, and all those good fights coming up.